It's August 18th, 2024. We're going to have a Moss Genealogy Research Group meeting. And I pray that it's fruitful and productive. Here we go. Greetings, cousin. Okay, I understand. But you can see, right? Good. Hello,
Terry,
how are you?
good. Doing some work right now for a client, so I might have to be a little bit quiet.
That's
Um,
fine.
but I'm gonna try to get this done really quickly so then I can make a contribution.
Well, handle your business.
Can anybody see me?
Yes,
Yes,
we can. Yes, we can, Tyrone.
All right, thank you.
Handle your priorities, Iris.
I'm working on it.
Well, we get to see each other face to face. How's that?
Yes, how you doing?
Fine, fine.
Good, good. That's good. That's good. I'm on time. I tried to help my wife. We joined in together, cooking and prepping and cooking together, and we try to finish on time. I try to be punctual.
That's, that's laudable. I'm just glad you're here. And
Thank you. I appreciate it.
yeah, and your enthusiasm is contagious in a positive.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. It's something I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's been a long time coming.
Well, you've taken the right steps, and our research group, our purpose is to connect families through our shared DNA, and that's what we'll be doing.
Great, great. Wow. So how long you been doing this?
Oh, I've been doing it since it's been passed, the torch been passed to me, 15, 20 years ago.
Okay. Wow.
But like
Wow.
not on Ancestry. I've been a member of Ancestry, like about 2016, something like that.
Okay. 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 Wow. I just like my therapist, we talked about this and we me and my wife, and it has been a long time, because I'm not afraid to say that I've talked to a therapist, because some things I don't know, I don't know about. And if I can get some help through other channels, that's a blessing for me also,
Well, the word that you're using, it's not prescribed, it's prescribed from God. This is my therapy. This is one of my therapies, conducting
Wow.
research. Um, constructing and building my my book of life, as Gates says. At the Lewis Gates has Finding Your Roots presentation, KPBS, and at the end he gives a book and opens it up and says, "Here's your book of life." Well, he has all kind of resources, for his research. But we do too, and we use as much as we can. But when he hits a brick wall, he can call somebody, some more specialists to help him get the answers. But
Okay.
I applaud him for doing that, because it's a motivator for us. We have a lot of tools at our disposal, and we sure use them.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Wow. And so how now, my thing is, right, would, like, I'll be thinking about sometime is that I wonder, I have this thought in the back of my head sometime, and I don't share it out loud, and I keep it up here, and I ask myself, maybe the thought tends to come up during the holidays and birthdays and stuff like that. And I asked myself, I said, I wonder if my family or my parents or my mother or father, have they ever thought about me? That's the $1 million question that I have in my head. And I don't speak on it. I just have it in my head. And this is the first time I ever spoke on it out loud, really, in a good minute,
Well,
and it's just,
tell us a little bit about your story to some of our dear family members. Just share something that you feel comfortable with sharing about your history.
okay.
And then we'll be able to process it, and maybe contribute to help you answer some of those questions for you.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to what I can remember and what I was told. Okay, I have to go to my birth era. I know I was born in Fordham Hospital in the Bronx, New York. I'm a resident of New York. August 27th, 1966. And I don't know if I think I was given to a family in Queens when I was a baby. My first foster family, their name was Brogdons. They was located in Springfield Gardens in Queens, New York. And they raised me until the age of 12. The agency, if I can recall the name of it, was in Staten Island, and I believe it was Seaman Society. I'm not really sure the name. I might be fumbling over the name, but I know it was in Staten Island, the agency. But the foster family that I was with them to the age of 12. And on Christmas Day, where in the year when I was 12 years old, I was transferred to another foster family. It was on the 20th, matter of fact, it was on Christmas Day. I can't remember the year, but I know I was 12 years old and I was transferred to another family in Jamaica, Queens, and they was the Owens family. And they raised me until my adult age. Matter of fact, I was with them until maybe in my 40s, late 40s. Two-parent household. They had one child, which was a girl. And we was in Jamaica, Queens, New York. My high school I went to was Andrew Jackson. My first high school I was with was no man. Let me back up a little bit. I went to a elementary school which was PS 36. This was in Hollis, Queens. I graduated from there and went to IS 192. This was also in Hollis, Queens. I graduated from there and went to my zone school, which is Andrew Jackson. But my parents wanted me to go to Francis Lewis High School, which was a pretty better high school. It was out of my zone district in Queens. It was in Flushing, Queens. I didn't graduate from there. I went and got my GED, and I branched out a few jobs here and there. But let me back up a little bit. The Owens family, the second foster family that I was with, I got adopted through them, which my last name was Harris, Tyrone Harris, up until the time when they adopted me, which I was given their last name, which was Owens, but my original last name is Tyrone Harris. And
Why do you say that?
that's what I remember being called when I was in junior high school and elementary school. I remember I was up under the name Tyrone Harris from elementary school up until junior high school. And I believe when I was still a Harris in high school up until I got adopted, which I was given the Owens name. Yeah, that's what I remember. Now, when I became an Owens, I thought it was at 12 years old, if I'm not mistaken. You know, it's very, it's kind of cloudy when it comes to, I think I became Owens at 12. You know, I don't have any paperwork. Only thing I can recall is a lawyer came to the house with my second foster parents. And we all sat down in the living room, and that's the day I became an Owens. I was young. I believe I was 12. I'm not really sure, give or take, how that happened, but I can remember that. But I was born a Harris. My first birth certificate had Harris on it. Then when I became adopted, I was able to get another birth certificate with Owens on there, also with the foster parents that adopted me name on a birth certificate, which was Lula and Frank Owens. Um, and but I still have my original Social Security number. My Social Security number ain't changed. I have my original Social Security number from my birth. And I wasn't told anything about my birth coming up. Here and there, here and there, I believe I was filled in with little information here and there. I was told that my parents, they was like heavily into drug use. I was told that. I don't know if that's true or not. And that always lingered in my head. That's the only thing I can remember. Only I recall. I don't know their names. I don't know their first names. I don't know their last names. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if I have any brothers or sisters or cousins. Up until now, that I see now through my DNA, I have some cousins now. So that's a breath of fresh air to know that I have some cousins.
It is?
You know,
It is?
yeah, yeah.
In which
So,
way? In which way, cousin?
um, having some birth cousins, not foster cousins, it's a difference. Um, I have birth cousins that's either on my father's side or my mother's side, blood cousins. How far they go down that tree, I don't have any clue. But you know, um, now I know this. Now I have a picture of I could put a face to some cousins now. Even though we haven't met, but now I can put a face to some cousins. I can look and say, this is my second and first or third cousins. You know, that's the big thing for me right now.
Good. I just want to
Um,
give y'all some. Just want to give give everybody some background, and 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 he matched me on DNA, and a small Citrus Morgans, but he matched, and his story is, brought some compassion, and I wanted to do what I can with the resources we've had and with God Almighty to help him. And this is a format we just wanted to share with you. So from there, where we're at today, he matched me. And what I did is I asked him, could I be his manager? And he gave me his test. And so I have the test. And so what we can do, it breaks down the different parents, parent one and parent two. But right now, what we looked at, we don't know if parent one is the mother or if parent one the father, number one. So I do have the information that I'm willing to, pull up his screen, pull it up here, and you can take a look at it, and it has a list of surnames on parent number one, and a list of surnames on parent number two. And so that's where we're at in this journey.
and to add to that, right now I have nothing but time right now. And you don't know what tomorrow may bring in life. So, I'm living right now for today, for this moment. you know, if I live to see tomorrow, it'll be great. Or next week or next month or next year, it'll be great. But I can cherish the information that I have so far. You know, I'm very serious. I'm very serious about this process.
Well, here is your home page. And one of the first things you saw what your ethnicity is, your origins. Okay, you looked at that, didn't you?
Yes.
And then he wanted to know about these DNA matches. So let's take a look at the DNA matches. So can you all see this? His matches? Okay.
Yes.
So this is who shows up first on his matches. So his first one is this person here. And she's 393. I also asked him, would he agree for me to upload his raw data to GEDmatch, and he agreed to that.
Okay.
So that'd be the next step. But from here, this is the highest number. And Cousin Owen, did you say that you reached out to one of these and sent a message?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yes. I reached out to Malene Jean Harris, and I sent her a text. I sent her a text, and I left my phone number where I could be reached if she happens to go on her Ancestry page. That's the only one I reached out to so far.
Okay, so here they are as you all are seeing as we go down. They're we're down to 121 centimorgans.
So he's got some pretty decent matches on both sides. And there was one that had a 1,300 person tree. That might be the place to start.
And here's somebody has a
There's another one with 6,000. Yep. That's good.
Okay, what I wanted to do is show you, let's say by parent, for example. I had asked him, Iris, when he does do his reach out, to use these surnames with his story that he has, his reach out bait message, use these surnames.
To me, what I see right now is that that Battle last name is a very common last name in North Carolina, particularly in Halifax County, North Carolina.
And that's what it says right here. You see that?
Yep. And that may be a good place to start. If he was born in New York, that's kind of interesting. I have been helping someone who is related to William Lee, and his mother was adopted. And we think we figured out which side was maternal and which side was paternal based on the location of the other people. What we figured out was that we think that his father or grandfather was in the military. And that's how his father ended up in New York from Texas. you've got Alabama, Georgia, and North Carolina. Those areas are much closer to each other. But it may be that whoever was in North Carolina moved to New York at some point.
And here's some more.
Mm-hmm.
These
Yeah.
people, Tyrone, these people match, these are the most common names which can be found in trees of their closest parent one matches. So those are other names that you're going to come across.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do is look at the people that are the highest matches first and see if they have a tree that you can work through, and identify maybe where those people were. Now, your highest match has 11 people, but if there's someone that is in the correct position for you to be second cousins, then that can help.
Okay.
Okay.
So here's what we're going to do. Now, my program, I have the pro program, and with this person, Tyrone, we're going to push the pro. So here's some of
Okay.
the names. These are some of the names right here. You see? You know you're related to this person now. And this is the father's side of the family, and here's her mother's side. So I'm going to use the shared matches with my pro program, and watch what this does.
Look.
See, this is where we're able to, to help you. So you and this lady, Melodine Harris, who's the highest on your list, right?
Yes.
The next person is there's
Orabo.
yeah, or right there,
Berta.
and you match, and this is on parent two side. So all these are on parent two, is what they're saying. This woman matches you. And I'm gonna look for some larger numbers here, and they get smaller as you go down. And sometimes you find someone big, like over on the side.
Okay.
But this
Okay.
person is definitely, she's definitely, your match.
Okay. That's the Melina.
Melanie.
Melanie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And see, that's at the 330. That's at the 330, right? And
Mm-hmm.
go back. Just one more for you. There she is. Yeah, and after her, yours is, is 228
Mm-hmm.
DNA match.
Okay.
And these, they say they're on the parent side, and then parent two side, and then your highest one for the other side is this here, Karina, Quebec.
That's Kanina.
Yeah, and so now
Kiana Cabinet.
so now
Kiana Cabot.
you have both sides of your family. You see,
Mm.
and she has 108 people.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the ones that you want to focus on. And let's take a look at this one here. This is parent one. I want to ask Iris, does Ancestry usually have parent one being the father's side?
I have found that it switches.
It does, huh?
I really tried to guess with some of that, but you know, when you're working with somebody whose parentage is unknown, you really don't know. I've seen it switch.
Well, here's the first one that oh, oh, that's a second and third, and let's go to the pro. Because this is something that you're not that you don't have access to. But see,
No.
that's how we use this to help you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so as we go down, this with her, here she is, she's 188, she matches this person, and you match her, this person 76. Or centimorgan. That's the measurements that we're talking about. And these are the other matches. And sometimes when we do this, we find a real big number, you know,
Mm-hmm.
when we compare. So I just wanted to use these examples to show you what we, you know, some of the tools that we use.
Okay.
Thank you, dear.
And
I love you too.
and so we'll be using these tools, and there's, you know, another one. Hey, another one we use is GEDmatch, and that's one that you'll be able to match more people. And you know, Ancestry, they might have the high. I bet you if you, I don't want to talk about that, but GEDmatch, it gives you more matches, more options. Because this one is just for
Somebody needs to
Ancestry.
go on mute. Can't tell who it is, but I can't hear you very well. Oh, it was Eddie. It was Eddie's fault.
But anyway, when we upload your raw DNA to GEDmatch, you'll find more cousins.
Okay.
This is part of the process. It's a step-by-step process. And
Okay.
you know, we need your patience and we need your cooperation. And there's individuals who are on this screen before you who have located not only what side of the family, but they've located the actual father or mother from someone that was either adopted or someone who thought they were someone and they weren't with their father, and they found out through DNA and through these research techniques, you know, who was their real father.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. So
I'm
go
sorry
ahead.
to interrupt. I just want to say that on GEDmatch, you may find matches that have tested in other locations like Family Tree DNA, 23andMe, MyHeritage. So it's more of a collection of all of the companies in one place. You won't find all of your matches, but you might find some different ones that you don't have on this platform, on the Ancestry platform. And it will help you to maybe figure out those lines a little bit better. So
Okay.
that's all I have to say about that.
So basically, on my end, it's not getting say I run in a brick wall and don't hear anything. Don't get discouraged.
No, sometimes you have to do this work without help from those matches because they may not know anything themselves. So if sometimes you'll see a person who has a very small tree, it could be because that person doesn't have more information about their family. So they're just at the same starting point that you are. And the way to work through it is you take your highest level match. You can build out their tree for them if they don't have it done, but do it on your account. I'm not saying you have to do all that work for them, but if you're on your account and you're building backward from that person, you can find out who their parents and grandparents and great-grandparents are. And when you look at the level that you match, then you can take that information and say, well, if it's 383 centimorgans that I match with this person, most likely we share second great-grandparents or third great-grandparents. And if you can figure out who those second or third great-grandparents are, then you'll see, okay, those are also my second and third great-grandparents. And you can put a placeholder in there, even though you don't know these people's names. It can be parent 1 or parent 2, and you can work your way backwards from there using that information.
Okay.
It may take a while or it may be very fast. It just depends. I've had some people who are, they're not necessarily adoptees, but they're looking for their one of their biological parents because one parent may not have told them who that other parent was. And sometimes you get people who are willing to share, and other times they don't respond. So you kind of have to work around that when you can.
Okay. Okay.
But it's not impossible, so don't give up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I got a good support system behind me right now.
Mhm.
So that's encouraging to have also.
Yeah.
I want to show you.
And
I want to show you this.
that,
I want to show you this here, just so you know, when you start seeing these different numbers, these centimorgans, like this is 183 across 7 segments. You know that they're your relative. You know, and when the higher the segments, the closer they are to you, and the centimorgans. And what I found, most people, they respond depending on how you present yourself. And that's why I asked you to, um, you know, be get your story that you feel comfortable with being in public, because we're going to start sending that out. That's your reach out text message, and and uh, and then you'll be able to um, once you send it out, then you'll be able to start getting responses from your DNA relatives who are your DNA, your DNA relatives. So you got some work to do, and basically what it is sharing your story, you know, and you do have a story to tell. So that's where we're at on that. Does anyone have any questions for him? Any additional information?
Are you building a tree right now? Have you started doing that part?
no, I don't know how to. Let me be honest with you. I don't know how to. I don't know the first steps on building a tree or how I'll go about doing it.
And that's everybody when we get started. We all go through that learning curve of figuring out how to do this. And in your situation, it's a little bit unique because you're not sure which side is which, whether it's mother's side or father's side, but you could put your name and then birth father, birth mother, and work backward from there. And we can show you how to get started with that. I think what's really nice is that you have some higher level matches that I think have good trees, and you can start there. I would be curious to see if any of them originate in New York, like the higher matches, if they were born in New York or if they show that they're still in New York, that might be a good place to start.
Okay.
Because if you were born there, then maybe your mother's family is still there. And like I said, it could be a situation where one of your parents was in the military or their parent was in the military, and that's how they migrated from North Carolina to New York, or Alabama to New York. There were certain times where more jobs were available in urban areas, so people left where they were to look for work. What are you sharing, Jerry?
This is an example, Iris, of my reach out text message that I reach out to my DNA relatives that are on my DNA summary.
Mm-hmm.
And then from them, whether it's a low percentage, centimorgans, they might go and talk to their parents and say, "Oh, we're related, but I don't know about that family." And then that family member, "Oh, I know that family," and it goes up the chain, and then that's how you end up connecting with your family members. So
Mm-hmm.
what I asked Tyrone to do is this story that he's given us, Iris. I want him to put it in words, and then we'll have that story. And this is my story.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do is I went through it, and this is my story. So genealogy, what I've done, and what I do is like here's I'll copy it
Mm-hmm.
right here, and I'll go to DNA summary. Now on this DNA summary, um, uh, True Bay, this is what I've asked for, for you to do also, is all these people that show up on these matches, they're your cousins. I've never known them, but it switches every 2 or 3 days. New people. Look at that. They all switch. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick on, so while I'm here watching the game or whatever I'm doing, remember, I've already copied my reach out text message, and I do deep sea fishing. I'll throw it out in the ocean. That message to these people, and I'll see which one of them connect, which one takes the bite. And even if they bite, that doesn't mean you're gonna bring them in. Because I've had a lot of big fish that I've hooked that got away. So that means you got to sharpen your skills, and sooner or later you'll be able to bring in whales. But it starts with these people. So what I'll do for this person, for example, let's look at this gentleman. He only rated to me by 9 centimorgans. There it is, across one segment. And I'll check Troy, where he's at. What is his story? He's in Chicago, and he's been on today. He's been on Ancestry, so he's actively involved. So what I'll do is he's a 58th cousin. I do a shared match, and I'll share his match right here. And I'll find out what side of the family that he's on, what he's on. So right now, I'm just going to expedite the process. And once I find out, I know if it's on my father's side or my mother's side because I have codes. But then what I would do, I'll go to a message. I pick that message. Remember, I copied it, Tyrone, right?
Yes.
Now here's where I'm going fishing, deep sea fishing. I'll go right here, which is type and paste. And there's that message. And all I do is change this from author, the name, to Troy. Troy.
Mm. Okay.
So, now watch this now. And then I'll send it. I don't have to repeat it. I send it to him. Now he has it. It's going to him. And that's how you got your message. But your story was different, wasn't it?
Yes.
But it was a story that got me, I felt that I could help you, So somebody helped me. Here you are right here. So you're active today, but your story is different. The story that you gave me, your story about you being adopted. And that was enough for me. That triggered me. Okay, let me reach out to him and see what I can do to help the, your young cousin. So
wow. So
to let you know what some of the tools are that we use.
Okay.
So
my reach out letter, even though I wrote Melena Harris, right? Even though I wrote her, that letter, I have to edit that letter. I will have to edit that letter because I want to add some more stuff to that letter. I like to get more in
That's
depth,
right. That's right. That's right. Because here's what you send back. You see that? You sent back, you told me you was adopted, last name was, and you told me what your name is, and answering me back, and you follow my request to give me your contact information. I gave you mine, and you followed up, and then see, that's how you do it. And text me first, just I don't answer no numbers. Use mine as a pattern, and then put your words in it, for example. And then we'll look at it and critique it, make sure your bait is right before we go deep sea fishing for relatives. How's that?
Okay, so you want me to write it and send it to you?
Yeah, just verify. I'm working with you. I'm your mentor. Go over it. Let's go together.
Before I put it out there, I'll send it to you and we can twerk it or whatever we got to do to it.
Right. And then like this one here, what you have, you told me this, but you see all those pictures that I showed you? Those are your cousins.
Yes.
That's who we're going to work with. That'll give you plenty to do, is contacting your cousins and tell them about yourself and see what kind of response you get. Build your rapport, your relationship with your DNA cousins.
Gotcha.
See, all those people are your cousins. Just remember that. They all are your cousins. All these people. You see them?
Yes.
They change every other day. And so that's how I spend my time. I got my message, I'll look at them, I see their story, and I'll decide. Some I won't send it. Some I won't send. I won't send my reach out text message. I won't do that. But in your case, I did.
Okay. I'm fit to get on that tonight. I'm fit to get on that tonight. Soon as we complete this call here, I'm gonna be on that, and then I'll send it to you, and then we can whatever we can do.
And that goes for you too, Trubay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
I believe we discussed this briefly, haven't we?
Yes. No, not really. Not this in particular. I know that you said that was going to be transferred onto the J match or something like that.
Yes. I want to upload your DNA to GenMatch also.
Yes, because I'm still stumped of my father's side. You know, my mother's side, not so much, but my dad's side, you know, it's never in my life like that. But I didn't realize how much that would be an issue until now. So that's where I'm a little saddened, but I know with your assistance, I can get some answers.
What are you sad about?
But as far as the relatives on my father's side, I have not found moving forward. I mean, my tree is not complete. Say, you're aware of that, right?
Yes. Yes. Well, like I
That's
said,
what I'm saying.
I'm gonna need you to, you know, again, I'm gonna need you to share your tree with me. No, I need you to, allow me to come in as your manager, and then I can upload your test. The same
Yeah,
process we had, you know, and
I
then
did do that. We did that last week.
no, that was to the tree.
Oh, so there's,
Here's an example of being able to manage a test. Here's my cousin Reggie.
Yes, sir.
This is Reggie's.
Okay.
And with his, I have more access and I can help him in the process. He's learning. And then what I'll do is once he gets more experience, I'll give the baton back to him. But in the meantime, you know, you won't have to spend as much resources in order to get the information, some of the most pertinent information. But everybody has to work together. And so
yes.
here's Reggie's, for example, and his matches. See, so I have his test. And so I can DNA matches. I wanted to ask him a question. But no, that's mine. Where's Eddie's name? Let me go back, Reggie. Reggie matches. Okay. Can you see Reggie's matches? Let me get them. Can you see them now?
Yes.
Okay. These are Reggie's matches. Reggie, okay, these are Reggie matches, and here they are. And see, he has some higher numbers. See, his daughter is there. You can see that. See how many Sister Morgans that is? That's his daughter. And you can identify them. And then, so these are his matches. Those are his matches. And then we can go by parent. And look at this. Now, Reggie, he knows which side of the family they are. Hey, Reggie, parent one, is that your mother's side or father's side?
Mother side.
See, that's what Iris was saying. We can't just assume it. You know what I mean? for Tyrone, we just can't assume that parent one is his because he was adopted. So that's what we're gonna have to find out. You know what I mean?
Oh, wait. No. Parent one is my father's side. Yeah, parent two is my mother's side.
What?
Yeah.
Mm. I think that's a question we need to find out, Tyrone. I would
Mm.
think that too.
Mm-hmm.
I would. What you know, like, can anybody else check theirs and see which one? Oh, check and see what theirs is. But anyway, here, parent one, there it is. That's his side, and these are the names that he has.
Hey,
And go ahead.
for me, parent one is maternal and parent two is paternal.
Okay. Well, that's out the window.
Sorry.
But these are Reggie's, and so I'm able to help him. Him and I work together and finding out. You know, it's his matches. And I want to share one other thing I shared with Tyrone is by location. I want to show you this here, Reggie. If you pick on yours, and this is you have access to it, Reggie, on yours. When you go in, look at by location, and this shows your DNA matches where they located at in let me go, come on now. Your matches are over the world. So you got two matches over here, up in Canada, and it tells you where some of your matches are. And sometimes you don't know where your DNA relatives are and where you live at, for example, up in this area, right? San Bernardino and that area.
Yeah.
Well, see, you got some DNA relatives, 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and you got relatives over there. So these are your DNA relatives, and they're on the map side. And you have somebody that's in Temecula. If you click on it, it'll show you who they are. This is extended family. Who is this? Do you know them, Reggie?
That's me.
There you are.
Yeah, that's me.
But that's you and this Janelle. It shows.
Damn.
Do you know her?
No.
Well, you got a cousin right here, Janelle.
That's in Temecula?
Hell yeah. She
Oh,
lives
shoot. She right here by me.
Yeah, she lives right by
That's
you.
where my shop is. Yeah.
I just showed, she lives right by you. Which one did I see? Where was she at? Oh, here she is. She's in Paris. See here?
Oh, Paris. Okay, yeah.
There she is. She's extended family. She's a second and third. She matches you. She's a definite relative.
How many CM is that? How many CMs?
120 across
Oh,
4
okay.
segments.
Oh, okay.
So she's a definite cousin of yours, and she doesn't have any names that she's sharing. And let's see what she says. There she is. She lives in Paris, Riverside County.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she right here, right next to me.
But I just wanted to show each of you that map program. Here you are. You got relatives, right by you, and you probably didn't know it. Just like that.
Oh, yeah. Just like I didn't know you was my cousin.
No. And see, you have another cousin here in San Diego. Her name is Misha Primus. You know her?
Okay. Nope.
Wow.
Well, she matches 67 Central Mortgage across 6 segments. And she lives here. San Diego, California. She's 50 to 59.
Oh man, okay.
So, you know, she's close. She's so I'm just telling you this tool, and you know, she's 67. Okay. Uh
It's kind of low. Yeah.
67 City Morgans across 6 segments. When you get those multiple segments, the Central Morgans, they are they're definite relatives. So, and she has 7 people in her tree. Let's see who they are. These are their names. Some a Morgan, and this a Pernice Senior, Pernice. So there she is.
Okay. Thanks, cousin. I needed that.
That's what we find. And so and that's available to you. Each of you who have a tree, if you can look at your DNA matches, just look under maps, and that's available to you. That's available to you too, True Bay. So when you get a chance, look at your tree and you can see who matches you by location. And I showed Tyrone, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Well, with that, let's go over the agenda. The GEDmatch platform. I explained the GEDmatch platform, and Iris did too. We don't have any new members who have GEDmatches, so we will be getting some GEDmatch kit numbers, and then you'll be able to compare. And let me give you an example. This is the program, the GEDmatch program. Once you get in there, they'll give you a kit. And once you have a kit, you have a kit number. You see, there's a kit number right there. And then you can do a couple things with it. You can match 1-to-1. You can compare two kits to find out who matches. And I'm just going to do the one to many right here. I'll click on mine and put my kit number there and submit it. Takes a second here. Because it has, it has a large database. And here they are. Can you see these matches? Can you all see these matches?
Yes.
Okay. So what it does is it gives a name of who matches me, and it has their the Central Morgans, their names, and it also gives an address email address where you can connect with. And then you start seeing, oh, I know these people, they match me. I know what side of the family some of them match me, because what they did is they wanted to find more of their relatives, and so they uploaded their information to GEDmatch. And now they found different cousins that they didn't know they had, and they have the Central Morgans. And the highest one is first. Like this young Moss, that's my grandson, Delon. I uploaded his to GEDmatch because I manage his kit. So that's how he shows up. in the segments. So that's an example of the power of GEDmatch, and it just goes all the way through, and you see the different names that you match, and they have different ones. These, let me see if this one has over here. Okay, right here.
Match.
But over here, you see the source. Can you see the source?
Yes.
Okay, some of them, that's Family Tree Maker, FT, Family Tree Maker. This person uploaded theirs from Ancestry. This person uploaded theirs from 23andMe. See, so they uploaded theirs to this GEDmatch because they were looking for relatives too, and that's the power of it. And then you will be able to see some other relatives that you don't see that have DNA matches in Ancestry. Because everybody, if you took all the tests, there's like about 4 or 5 of them, it's even more than that. But some of them are free that you can upload your information to. But I just wanted to show you what the GEDmatch is. Does anyone have any questions on GEDmatch?
Wow. I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is this area, is this like a second option or third option or a last result option?
No, it's an additional tool.
Additional tool, okay. Okay, gotcha.
And that's why I showed you those other testing platforms.
Gotcha.
See, that means other people see again, everything is not from everything, all your DNA matches. We took the Ancestry test, that's why we match. But other people took different tests from different platforms, and then so they uploaded theirs. But this platform, GEDmatch, is what matches.
Mm-hmm.
So in your case, that will increase the amount of people who might be related to you. You might have a half brother or sister who took 23andMe, and then they uploaded it looking for you, and you wouldn't see them in Ancestry, but you'd see them in GEDmatch. That's why I want you all to upload your information to GEDmatch.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, that's the power of the tool.
Okay. Okay. And we to connect with GEDmatch, just Google that. Put that in our Google Chrome or something like that, eh?
Correct.
Correct. Okay, I got you.
And you also go to YouTube and Google it put it in YouTube and search it to learn more about it. And they'll give you some information about it. That platform.
Got you. I'm looking at it on my second phone now. I'm looking at it now. I got you.
And the second item on the agenda was presentation on Ancestry New Pro Tools edition. I've done that, and you've seen that, how I've added some of the Pro Tools, how I was able to see some information, and I share some information with each of you, along with the maps. Let me show you one thing on that, what I've been doing recently, especially especially since we're getting ready for reparations in California. We're really tightening up our trees, duplications and all the. One thing you go at it with a shotgun, but now you have to be a little bit more specific. But right here, for example, let me make sure I'm on here. Can you, let me get my screen. Okay, here's my screen. And now there's a program called, you'll see Pro on it. And so what I would do is like home. So can you see this Pro Tools shortcuts up in the upper right-hand corner? Okay, let me show you.
I see it.
Okay,
Pro Tools shortcut.
okay. Over here, these are some tools that you have to pay a little bit more per month. I think it's $10 more a month, but it's this invaluable what on your subscription, that the tools that you can use to help you contact, find more relatives, and the different tools that it provides for people. And sometimes when you're doing your genealogy, you're doing your research, you have double people, duplicates, and that clogs up your tree. And so you just want to try to get it down to one person in your tree and all the information on that person. So over here it says check your tree. Now, on mine, I have possible 81 duplicates and some other information. Some of the people on my tree, that they don't have any documentation, even though they got hints, and I haven't went through and added them on to their profile. But let's try this one. Duplicates. What I'll do is, John, they're in order. I'm gonna do John Ross, for example. You click on that person, and then you go up here to this little icon, and then they'll say a possible duplicate, and you review it, and this is all the information, and you look and say, okay, I can use this. This one has person 1 and person 2 who needs to be, that I have, and what they'll do, they'll sort through and give you additional information, and once you're through with it, you say merge. And when you do that, that person is now, he's not under now he's not under a person that I need to correct, because I got 2 of them. So that's one of the tools of how I use this. And the other one on the Pro Tools is very important. This one is a report. Look at this. This will give you, can you see this? I know it's not too, you could ask for a report, and it'll give you a report from generations. Generation 1, 2, 3, descendancy. And it gives you a report, and it'll print out a PDF for you. So it has a lot of bells and whistles, and so that's the Pro Tools. And we use that when I'm doing your research, helping you with your work. I use this. And what I can do is, after I do your research, I can put it in a PDF file and just send you the file. And then have all your lineages and everything on it. From your ancestors all the way down.
Wow.
How's that sound?
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's really good to know that there's other avenues that a person can go down. You know, it's really good to know. We just don't have just one avenue. We got multiple avenues we can go down.
Oh yeah, yeah. And here's an example of my report, just so you know. These are the descendants of William Jack Moss. There's 19 pages. It starts off with generation 1. I'm gonna make it a little bit how do I make
I
it?
can see it good. I can see it real good.
Well, I just want to make it clear. This report, this was done with my family tree DNA program. So that's in the program I have. And it not only gives you the generations, but it gets the pictures. See the pictures?
Wow.
And then it breaks down the kids. The generation 1, 2. William Jack Moss, he was born in 1820. And it goes all the generations, generation 1, generation 2, 3. William Moss and all his people, and their pictures over on the right. This is my family tree DNA. It comes down, and it has their pictures. My aunt got her name, got a picture next to her. See all them? Imagine getting, these are my uncles, and it goes all the way down. Here it is. My generations to my generation. Generation 5 is my mother, my father, and then it comes down to here I am. Here, me, my son, my brothers. There we are. That's my brother Dale, and he's on Ancestry. He match him, and then my son Jerry Jr. Here he is. My daughter Bridget. This is my grandson Delon, right there, right here, and we have a 6-year-old great granddaughter. So from 1820 to my 6-year-old great granddaughter, here she is. That's my grandson Delon, and this is his daughter. How's that for a report?
Wow.
It's a PDF report, and all I have to do is just send it to you.
Wow. Wow, it's like everything wrapped up in a shell for you.
Go
That's
ahead,
amazing.
Iris. Did you have something, Iris?
I'm doing some research on one particular line of my family, and I found a cousin who matches my grandmother's first cousin and also matches Eddie. And what I was telling him earlier, he didn't stay on the call long enough, but I was going to explain what I found, and that was a will that showed the names of all of the enslaved people that this family had. And in checking that line of the family, then I found this match in Eddie's DNA matches as well. So I can show you what I found if you're interested, but I don't want to skip over your agenda. I'm just sending him screenshots of the matches.
Well, that comes right to where we're at now. Number 3, I'm going to be sharing some verified records using formerly enslaved ancestors. And so this is the topic. Go right ahead.
Okay. So I go back and I clean my tree from time to time. And in the county that I was born near, we found quite a few slave narratives. I don't know if you've ever found any for yourself, but I found 4. And in cleaning up my tree, I decided to go back and read one of them again. And what I noticed this time is that there was a little bit more information on this family. So let me share this with you. Okay. So let me go back to this tree. All right, so this is Thomas George Mills, who was born in 1858 in Fayette County, Alabama. And he died in Uvalde County, Texas in 1947. It just so happened that they recorded him in this interview, and he tells all about who his family was, where they came from, who owned them, who enslaved them. So he was owned by George Patterson, who was born in Fayette County, Alabama, as I said. His father was Tad Mills and his mother was Emmeline Wright. And so what I ended up doing was I just Googled George Patterson, Uvalde, Texas. You can't really see this very well. This is not a great copy of it.
That's clear. That's clear enough.
It's clear enough for you. There's another one that's a little bit better.
But just tell us what it says.
Say it again.
Just tell us what it says.
Okay, so it says, I was born in Alabama in Fayette County in 1858. My mother was named Emmeline Riley, and my father was Tad Mills. My sisters were named Ella, Ann, Ben, Maggie, and Matilda, and the youngest one was Esther, or Easter. I had two brothers, Richard and Ben. Bob LaBruce was my great uncle, and for a long time, he ran a freight wagon from Salt Lakes to this county. That was the only way of getting salt to Texas, this part of Texas, I mean, because Salt Lakes is down east of Corpus, close by the bay. My uncle was finally killed by the Indians in Frio County. In Alabama, I lived on Patterson's place. The grandmother of all these Pattersons was Betsy Patterson, and we lived on her estate. My mother wove the cloth. It kept her pretty busy, but she was stout and active. My uncle was a blacksmith and made all the plows there. He talks about the house that they had. And then this is a little bit better. That one was blurry. My mother done all the cooking up at the house because she was working up there all the time, weaving cloth. And of course, we ate up there. The rest of them didn't like it much because we ate up there, but her work was there. So he's going through the interview, talking about these people. And so what I did was I just went to Google and I did George Patterson Uvalde. And what came up was a few things. So this one in particular was interesting. And I'd looked at this before, but maybe didn't get as far as I wanted to because I was looking at it from the perspective of this is a line of the family that's not necessarily genetically related to me, but I was wrong. All right. So in this part, it talks about this Patterson family being Scotch-Irish, belonging to Clan McLaren, descended from a James Patterson gentleman.
Excuse me, where are they at the top? I didn't see it.
This lady's in West Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
West Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay.
And she published this. This is from 1956. So someone just recently posted this online.
Mm.
Okay.
Wow.
And they love to write about their families, especially if they are Revolutionary War descendants or, people that were here very early on in the development of the United States. So it says here that James Patterson came in the early 17th century. His father went from Glengarroch, Ayrshire, Scotland, to settle in County Donegal, Ulster. It says it's not certain when the Pattersons began coming to America. But they found someone in 1758 that was David Patterson. Then she goes on to talk about the ancestry of the Texas branch of the Pattersons. And she says this one Patterson fought in the Revolutionary War, and after the Republic was established, settled in North Carolina, where he reared his family and spent the remainder of his days. Now it keeps going. It says it may necessitate a great deal of research to obtain the name of this Patterson ancestor who was a Revolutionary hero. Since we know he had a son named John, he too may have been John. The following records on John Patterson of North Carolina have been taken from the DAR, which was the Daughters of the American Revolution lineage book. And then this is where we start getting into these North Carolina counties. John Patterson's born in Orange County, North Carolina on 10th of October, 1760. He died in St. Louis, Missouri, 30th of January, 1839. Had two wives, Kizzy Hornaday and Sarah Johnson. And then he goes through talking about each child. The next child was born in Fayetteville, North Carolina. One stayed in Orange County. These are very close to Wake County and Halifax County, North Carolina, and Granville County, North Carolina, where some of us have a lot of matches. So then there's a will here. And he starts talking about which child he's giving what to. And then towards the end, so this is from John Patterson in 1790. They talk about this family going from North Carolina to Ohio, then Kentucky. And then from Kentucky, they go to Tennessee, get married in Alabama, and then they come to Texas. So George Washington Patterson is the man that Tom Mills speaks about in his slave narrative. He's born in 1791 and dies in 1879. And it says our ancestor was reared to manhood in Tennessee and married in Alabama to a Elizabeth McCullum. Now this is where it gets interesting. In 1847, he sold his property in Alabama to move to Texas with his family and his slaves, first locating in St. Augustine County the fall of that same year, then removed to Smith County, and by 1851, sold and moved to Uvalde County.
They still on.
Yeah, we're still on, and we're talking about these people that are in your matches right now. So,
Wow, I done ate dinner and everything.
right. So this is the will. Excuse me, this is the will. And it talks about how George Washington Patterson came from Alabama to Texas, but he stopped in St. Augustine.
Excuse me, can somebody mute their mic? We're hearing the TV in the background.
Okay. So St. Augustine County is in East Texas. Then he moves to Smith County, and by 1851 sold his land and moved again to Uvalde County, which is Southwest Texas, about 60 miles west of San Antonio. And that's the community that I was born in. My family was born in and still has roots there. So Elizabeth McCullum is the daughter of Newman McCullum, who was of Scotch and English descent. It is understood in the McCullum branch of the family, 9 brothers migrated from Scotland to South Carolina, and from there dispersed throughout the Southland. Newman McCullum was born and reared in South Carolina. From a study of the census records, his mother could be Anne McCullum of Chester County, South Carolina. The family of Newman appears in the 1830 census of Marion County, Alabama. So this is his will. And he has he's got some notes against his son, James McCollum, in the amount of $1,730.25. Also amount against Joseph McCollum, my son, $240, which I desire to stand without drawing any interest. Thirdly, I desire all my lands and Negroes to be valued by 3 disinterested men as cash. The Negro names are as follows: Jim, Mariah, Bob, Giles, Mary, Cicely, Leah, Bill, Emiliero, George, Aaron, Ples, Giles Jr., Tom, Francis, Frank, Mary, Margaret, and also the further increase of these Negro women, if any, at my death, with and all my household furniture, with all my lands and tenements, and also all my perishable property to be valued and divided or sold, and the money divided into 4 parts, 1 to James McCollum, 1 to Joseph McCollum, 1 to Elizabeth Patterson, and to the heirs of her body, and 1 to the heirs of my son Henry McCollum, deceased, namely Martha, Mary, Nancy, and William McCollum. Also all of the rest of my estate, both real and personal, of what nature or kind soever it may be, not hereinfor particularly disposed as I desire, may be equally divided among my several children herein before named. And lastly, I do hereby constitute and appoint my son Joseph McCollum and my friend Alfred Wimberly executors of my last will and testament. So this was signed in 1853.
Wow.
Now, when we go back, let me show you this. So Tom Mills, Tom was in that description. And then we also have, let me go to find entry. Here is Giles. Here is Cicely. Here is Mary. Sarah. Reuben Giles, who was Giles #1, his wife Mary. So these are all of the people that lead down to this cousin, who is Bertha, born in 1917, died in 2021. Her family is the family that was owned by this Patterson. Okay. Now, in looking in the DNA matches, I'm going to go to Bertha. And I put in Uvalde, which is the American way of saying it. And there's this Kimberly Dyer Kelly. And
You put the location in, right?
I put the location in the box.
Yeah.
Yes. The location of that county where Tom Mills is recorded is Uvalde County, Texas. And these are the matches that come up. Now, I know some of them because these are my cousins who are known to me. They all are Knowles. Their last name is Knowles. This one here, he's from Belgium. He descends from a Knowles and a Cozy or a Corsley. And with these folks, we also share another enslaver ancestor on the other side of the family. So I can separate them. But what was interesting is that I went into Eddie's matches and I did the same thing. And the reason I did that because I thought I saw Arkansas, or I remembered Arkansas in one of the descriptions of where the family stopped along the way. So when I put Uvalde County in, look who comes up. Kimberly Dyer Kelly.
Hmm.
On Eddie's paternal side. And then we can look
Whoa.
at shared matches. I don't recognize any of these people, but let's see what happens if I go and put in McCollum. If anybody comes up.
Wow.
And I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. I think it's McCollum. It could be McCollum. And there are a few. Some maternal.
And notice that the Centromorgans, everyone, you know, they're 9 or 10, and Ancestry at one time, it went down to
6. It used to go down to 6.
and they cut it off because they didn't want us to start relating to the Caucasians, and they complained, and so they cut the cutoff. Now it's 8 Centromorgans, or you wouldn't even see these people.
Right.
Oh.
And one of the now I just found this on Thursday, this will. So I haven't had a chance to go through everybody's matches and look for exactly those same names. But we can check using those last names. Like here's a Riley from Mississippi. Okay, these people stayed in Mississippi. And what I typically will do is I will look for the last names in the same location. Like here's a Eugene Patterson from Harrison County, Texas. And then I'll go and I'll research where Harrison County, Texas is, and is it close to the places where they said that they landed when they first came to Texas. Okay, so Harrison County, well, look at this. It's near Marshall and Longview and Shreveport, which is very close to where Eddie's family is from in Henderson County, which is right in here somewhere. And then typically what I'll do is I'll go and look at what are the cities around and what are the adjacent counties. So this county is right here. It's along the border with Louisiana. And I'll check to see what other counties are around there. Usually it'll tell me in here. Marion, Cato Parish, Louisiana, Panola County, Russ County, Gregg, and Upshur. Those are all counties that I've found in records from some of Eddie's ancestors. And so in that way, I can verify my research and make sure I have the right families. Not all of us have the slave narratives. We don't all know who our enslavers were, and if we have the correct last names that we're looking for. So that's one research project to start with. And when we're looking at someone who's a 5th to 8th cousin with 17 centimorgans or less, most likely it would be a person born in the early 1800s, late 1700s that we're looking for. And here again, she's got Riley. I don't know if this is a married name or not, but I can use this information to verify if this person's tree is reliable and correct. And so that's kind of how I conduct my research when I'm looking at this information. And these Moors are from Mississippi. I cannot remember where your Moors are from. Don't you have Moors? Look, Franklin County, Tennessee to Arkansas. And your Moors came from Arkansas, did they not?
Talking to Eddie?
I'm talking to you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They came from Arkansas, Alabama,
Mhm.
Kentucky, Virginia.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I find these, I don't know if you want to call them coincidences, I'll check them and see where there's a match. I don't think that Eddie has, let me go back and look. Okay. I think I switched over. Go back to Eddie. And I can check his sister as well in a minute.
Wow.
So
Who
did-
was your Eubanks?
say it again.
Who was your Eubanks?
Dante?
Dante Eubank?
Yes, he's a match he has deep Georgia and Alabama roots. And we haven't figured out how we're connected yet, but he's given me access to his mother is Joyce Annette Eubanks. He's from Ohio, but lives in Maryland now.
I
And
think that might be my Dante. I'm not for sure.
okay, let me look in here and see. His username is Reverend DME.
That's him.
Okay, so
Mhm.
what's your username in Ancestry? Is it
Eflin Moss, MOSS. Yeah, that's him. My mother's side's the Eubanks.
okay? Did I spell your name right? ETHELYNE?
N. You don't have an E on it. LYN. That'll show us as a match.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That should come up because I matched with him.
He sure has a lot of mosses.
Right. So that goes show he's on both sides probably.
ETHELYN, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think maybe you're showing up as a match to his mother and not to him?
No, it's him because on mine he got a picture.
Okay.
And we're friends on Facebook.
Okay. So Dante and I here, let me show you. I might not come up this
So are
way.
you Candy Eubanks?
No, I don't. That's the thing. I don't know where it is. So let me try it this way. Let me take this out and put Medina County, Texas. Okay. So all the three of these people here are my cousins on my grandmother's mother's side.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I put, let me try, because he's got other people. Okay, nobody from that group. There's a few I know and a few I don't.
Right. So is he the only Eubanks that you match with?
It's his, I think his mom. Let me go to my DNA and I'll show you.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to go to my aunt's DNA. Ancestry's acting up right now.
Always.
Always, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to. Okay, so there are 3 kits managed by him that we match,
Mm-hmm.
that my aunt matches. But then if I switch to my my grandmother's first cousin, we'll go here and do this way. Okay, so his mother matches. I think Dennis is his uncle for her. And then if we click here, you can see his photo. I'm sure this is the same person, right? This is the Dante you're talking about?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
That's
So
him. Mm-hmm.
see who else he's got here.
See, my Eubanks is out of Missouri. Well, I don't know where they originated, but they from Brunswick, Missouri.
Okay. So not Cecile. I think my stepdad, nope. You know, I have so many kits that I manage that it all starts to go together after a while. So there's one cousin that matches another kit he's managing. And that person may or may not be a Eubanks. Let me see.
Right.
This person, maybe their last name is English, but it should be Rothwell. Okay, so 3 kids that match my one of my dad's sisters. I think the other one doesn't have any, which makes no sense because they have the same parents, but that's how it goes sometimes. 2 kids.
Small world. I just seen you strolling through us. That's Eubanks.
Yeah. And then Elizabeth Habit has 2 kids that she matches. Let's see if Paulette has anybody. Paulette is Eddie's cousin and my cousin. She doesn't have any with Dante. Let's see, not Jean. Not Eddie. My cousin Hartens is actually matching him along with his mom and his uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And then not Letha. And then my cousin Mary has some of the same ones other people in the family have, but not matching Dante himself.
Right.
Not Peggy. Let's see who else. Not Sammy.
So Iris,
Yes, sir.
can we wrap this up briefly?
Yes.
Thanks.
So we're going to go back to Eddie. Oh, that's not where I want to go. Hang on. Okay, so the family that I'm working on right now is Knowles. Let me see, this could be Newsom McCullum. Their tree is locked. Let's see what the ethnicity is. It's a Black person. Okay, so maybe. So the family name that they're carrying is Knowles. And they are in Texas, and they're also in California. But I don't see anybody that I recognize offhand. This person doesn't have enough information for me to make an educated guess on. So, this is the next county over. And I think this person might be, yeah, mostly Scottish, English, and that's what they share with Eddie. But because her tree is locked, I don't know if she comes from one of those Patterson or McCullum families. So I'll look at the shared matches. Again, very small tree. An Alfred Henderson or an Alfred Bennett Henderson from North Carolina. Okay, so these look like white Hendersons. This is just kind of a starting place, I think, to look for these names.
So I need to check out my two Knowles,
Check out what?
the two Knowles I had.
Yes, and what I would suggest is looking at the counties around San Antonio. So this lady is European. Looks like 100%. And she's someone who was born in England. So it looks like the same cluster of people. And normally I will put them in a category and put notes next to their name. I don't know if you saw that in some of these matches. I'd already put some notes. Like this one is from April, 100% European from Medina County, Texas. I think that's really it for this group right now. It's going to take some more research and maybe some other people helping out to look through their matches to see, do you have anybody from Medina County or Uvalde County where we might be able to put this connection together and work our way backward.
Thanks, Iris.
You're welcome.
I have a question for Eddie. Eddie? Hey, champ, you still with us? Um, how revealing was that information that she had for you?
Huh?
How revealing, how interesting was that? Helpful was that information that she shared with you?
It was cool. It was all right. She
Did you-
went in depth.
I did or did not?
You did.
Okay.
So I'm listening. So it was new to me. I'll send you a treat later.
And for some of the newer members, this is an example of the degree of research that our group is capable of doing. Their interest and Iris, she's dedicated and thoughtful, and you see how many different tests she managed and how she's connecting. And you have Evelyn, when they talk, they get results. And so that's why I'm confident for anyone on here that has some questions, and with time, just stick with us, and we'll help you through your journey. So with that, I want to, before I do, I have some verifiable records, but I'll let that one go. I think that Iris's presentation was really helpful. Who raised their hand? Let's see. Right here. Go ahead. Person raise your hand. ARB. Go ahead. When they raise it, somebody raise their hand, you have the floor if you want to have something to say. Who is that? Do y'all see where the hands raised?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have to demute themselves. Well, Eddie, that was really intense, that presentation that she gave on the connections. And it not only helped you, then you saw how Evelyn, she's been doing some serious research that y'all had the same common ancestor there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somebody who's a current, that gentleman. So that's what this is all about, coming together and sharing our resources.
Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
What helps is that everybody's connected in different ways, right, Jerry?
Yes.
You guys are focusing on Arkansas and Texas and California. Dante is really good with Alabama and Georgia and Maryland. So as we were as we were forced to migrate across this country, people were dropped off in different areas. So you may have a connection that really knows Alabama, or a connection that really knows Oklahoma. And by utilizing those connections, you might be able to figure out, where your family stopped along the way to get to the point where you are.
The Great Migration.
Yes, yes. So, it's important to maybe check those particular counties that some of your matches come from, and that may lead to that aha discovery for you, that really will identify, where you started or where your family started. So,
well, thank you again.
welcome.
Dubl R, are you prepared for an update on the current California reparations bill for our group, please?
Yes, sir, cousin. First of all, Iris, that was amazing. She outdid you, brother Jerry. That was some amazing work. We appreciate you helping us out on here and giving us all this information. Okay, yeah. Regi Romain, that's me. I'm with Coalition for Just and Equitable California. We just had a victory on the 15th. We just passed three bills, the SB 1403, which was the American Freedom Affairs Agency being able to write the policies. That one passed. We had the SB 1331, the funds. That one passed. And the SB 1050 for the eminent domain, that passed. So we have a date coming up. We don't know yet. They have 2 weeks to do it. They have before August 31st to put it on the big assembly floor. It was just on the Appropriations Suspense File Committee. And let's see, we had 15 members here, 12 Democrats passed it, and 3 Republicans did not even vote. That was first time I saw that. It was funny, but man, it was like we won a Super Bowl. So reparations never got this far. So we're looking at a date. Every day we waiting for them to give us a date, but they have to get it on the floor, the big assembly floor with 80 members before August 31st. And 80 members, we have 60 Democrats, 19 Republicans, and 1 independent. So it's looking good. Gavin Newsom, it's looked like he's pushing these Democrats to pass it. After that, it will be on his desk, and he will have 30 days after it passes the assembly floor. And he already passed the 12 million for the lineage-based start qualifying people. Let's see, January 1st, the 12 million. It would be probably 4 million a year, a 3-year process. And we're going to be, I guess, this site here, this is going to be January is going to take off pretty big. So I hope you guys can make room for everybody who's going to need to be in here learning about their lineage base. Let's see. Any questions, anything?
Yes. Could you put your group's chat, your group's website, the link to them in the chat, please?
Named from the start of the Democratic National Convention, organizers.
Okay. Let me check this out. Oh yeah, and this is CJEC. You can go to the website www.cjec-official.org. And we would love for you guys. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I left something out. We will be needing support with these the public call. Can somebody mute their phone?
Yeah, he's came in a couple of times. I think let me see now. Yeah, he's muted. Go ahead. Go ahead, Rez.
He needs to unmute.
Okay, I was on mute. I'm sorry, man. I was talking. I just saw that. All right, thank you. Yeah, we're going to have another public call to action when we hit the assembly floor. And the website, I put it in there, is www.cjec-official.org. CJEC is Coalition for a Just and Equitable California, the #1 grassroots organization here in California, which started the AB 3121, which was the California Reparations Task Force, where we did a 3-year study. And we got a 1,065-page final report you can find on the website. And if we go into the website, it would ask you for your phone number, and you will get the alerts as soon as it happens. And when you get the alert, we need support from our public to sign these pre-written letters that we have that's going directly to the assembly members who will be voting. And we're going to have phone calls coming up as well, like we did at the appropriation meeting. We called the chair, Madam Chair Buffy Wicks, and I think we had about 200 phone calls to her, which was good. And we're going to have phone calls going to Gavin Newsom on this go round. So appreciate if you guys make a phone call to him as well. And like I said, if you go into the website, it will give you all the information as soon as it come out. And you guys can be able to help us. It don't matter if you're in California or not. And information and the qualifications would be your ancestors would have to be living in a slave state before 1900. And in California, if you lived here before September 30th of 2020, at least for 6 months, you qualify for reparations. We're having different chapters of American Freedmen Affairs Agency. I will be hosting one here in the IE chapter. I will have this area. We have to qualify over 2.4 million. We have 2.4 million Blacks in California. But however, just like I said, if you move out of the state, you was here before September 30th of 2020, you do qualify for reparations. I think that covers it all. Yeah, and this, like I said, this site will blow up January. We will have some of that was 4 million will be going to getting the tests for people. Jerry said, he said, still buy it now, but a lot of people can't afford it, Brother Jerry. I appreciate you on the radio show yesterday. I had to agree with you to a certain extent because a lot of people are struggling right now. But yeah, if you got it, if you can catch it on sale at $39, that's a good deal. But $100 is a lot of people right now, so it's a lot of money. So, but we're going to be able to have tests January 1st for everybody, and I yield.
Iris has a question.
Quick question. So if you, let's say you lived in California for 3 years in the late 70s, does that qualify you?
Jackpot. Jackpot.
Okay, so I'm qualified.
Oh, jackpot. What area?
I lived in Oakland, in Hercules, and in San Francisco.
Okay, yeah. As soon as I find out chapters up there, I connect you right to them. Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
you qualify. Yes.
So my brothers still live there in Alameda, California.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Effa? Go ahead.
I live in Missouri. That's one of the biggest slave states. Do I qualify?
Did you ever live in California?
No, I got family there.
Yeah, well, yeah, you have to be able to. You have to live here at least for 6 months
in California.
Yeah. Did you take a vacation for 6 months?
I could always say I did.
We'll see what we can do.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty strict though. To have documentation, and of course, you're going to have the address, the work thing, or medical, whatever. There's going to be a lot of stuff to be able to show that you were here. People just can't do that. So, but however, hopefully you guys can get a task force going there. I think we spoke a while ago about, and I said you guys need to hit your governor up because that's where the money's going to come from.
I think Kansas City's working on it.
Okay.
And the other important factor, thank you, WR. As you can see, we're all collaborating, and your records. You have relatives. Each one of you have relatives that live in California, I'm sure, and you have the records. So this is going to be worldwide, quite frankly. And we've been talking about it, and now the harvest is coming through, and it's not like our efforts are going in vain. So this is part of the process. So just be patient, but be prepared. Any other questions? Okay, we have a couple of new members. I just want to get a brief comment from you. William Lee, could you tell us about yourself? William?
He's muted.
But he could hear me. There he is.
Sorry about that, man. What are you asking? I was doing some research on something. What you want to know?
Just give us your, who, what, where. Who are you?
Okay.
What's your purpose, and what does Ancestry mean to you, and how does this format help you?
Sounds good. I'm William Lee. I am originally from Washington, D.C., born and raised. I have come to North Carolina with a job in 1994. I've been doing the Ancestry family stuff for about 5 years now. I have been hooked up with Iris. She's been a mentor and teacher for me for the last 3 years, I think. Is that right, Iris?
Mhm.
The last 3 years. And what Ancestry means to me is that I'm trying to build this legacy for my children. See, we live in North Carolina, and I found that that's where the majority of my dad's side is from. He's from Littleton, North Carolina. So we're talking about, oh my goodness, all of North Carolina is my dad's territory. So my kids are running into people that they're cousins. My oldest son is 35, and he coaches his son's AAU team, and 3 of the people on the team are his cousins, and they didn't know that until I started doing Ancestry.
Wow.
So this is what I'm trying to pass on to my children. I'm trying to pass on a solid tree. And as I meet other people, I like, say for instance, I don't want to say that, but that's me in a nutshell. I'm sorry.
So let me just say this. William was introduced to me through Paulette Harper, who is a DNA match to myself, to Eddie. I'm not sure if she's a DNA match to everybody else on the call. She's on his mother's side, I believe. And
Yes.
I think that makes her a Moss. I'm not sure if that makes Paulette a Moss, but I know she's a Harper. And that Harper last name was the last name that my family had before emancipation. After emancipation, they changed from Harper to Grant. They were owned by George Weldon Harper, who lived in Mississippi, migrated from Mississippi to Texas, and had at least 8 slave families that he owned. So, I think that there's a connection to North Carolina there somewhere. We just haven't figured out exactly where. But recently discovered that William is a Cozart, and through his dad's name, yes. And we had this conversation about the Cozarts on Eddie's call, where everyone probably found Cozart, Philpott, Brinkley, Bumpus, Tilly, Williams, and maybe one other name in their matches. Gentry is another one. And these are people that were in the United States in the early 1600s. They've owned people, had enslaved people since that time. So these are our 5th to 8th cousin level folks. And so that's how William and I connect, is through Paulette and then Eddie. And we have a lot of people in common.
Question for Iris.
Yes.
Are you a genealogist?
I am not a professional genealogist.
Okay.
Seems
like it.
No, I need to go ahead and take their class and get that certification. I've been doing this since 2008, and I've been working on DNA since 2013. So pretty long.
What state are you in?
I'm sorry?
What state are you in?
I'm in Texas.
Okay.
I'm in Texas. I lived in California as a child between 1977 to 81, and then again from 2008 to 2009.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And who is ARBT 255? Can you speak up, please? Just, is that a double? Could you?
Courtney.
Now, Courtney?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay, Courtney, introduce yourself.
Hey, brother. Yeah, my name is Brother E.C. Courtney, and I'm currently in Compton, California. And I've been in contact with my brother Jerry Moss, and we trying to do this thing. I'm getting my DNA together, and basically, man, I want this for my children, my grandchildren. I need this for myself, and I'm with my people in the action committee to get the job done. So we're working here in California, man. We work with our brother Moss, and in Black Power Call with my other brothers, Marvin, and the rest of the crew. So that's basically, man, what's going on with me right now is just getting this did. So I've been listening. I've seen the sister. I've been trying to get in, and I finally got in. Seeing the sister, she going down the scrolls. I'm seeing that she working the records, and I'm also waiting on my process to get back so I can get started. I got some things wrote down because my parents was born in Mississippi and Arkansas, and my grandparents, my grandmother, she was born on a plantation. So was my mother's mother. She was born on a plantation in Mississippi and Arkansas. So right now, this is what we're trying to do. My grandmother, she was born in 1860. It was no, 1880 and 89, something around in that area. So she was born on the plantation, still on the plantation. It was sharecropping. So my line goes back a long way, starting with Mississippi and starting with Arkansas. So basically, this is what I'm trying to catch them, connect all the dots, you know. So this is what I'm basically doing, man. This is my work right now, and you know, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to see all the people blessed to be able to catch up with their bloodline. So that's what's happening with me, man. And everybody have a blessed day, also.
You too.
Thank you, Courtney.
You too, brother.
That's real good to hear from you. So, Iris, are you still with us?
Yes.
For the time remaining, this is officially the Exhale Sunday. Could you please co-host that Exhale Sunday, which it's an open session. It's called Exhale Sunday. Participants will be able to discuss any topic that's on their mind, and the co-host, which I am saying will be named mediator of this special session.
So when are you talking about this special session happening?
Right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
So we're just supposed to talk, or what's the format?
Participants will be able to discuss any subject that's on their mind, and just raise your hand, and whoever has a topic, it's open. It's called Exhale Sunday. Just exhale and just speak your mind.
Okay. For a second, I thought you were saying Excel, like Microsoft Excel.
No, exhale.
And I was going to tell you that's the bane of my existence. I am not good at it.
We've seen a lot of your records.
Okay.
So Iris is now officially the host of the meeting.
Okay. Well, does anyone have any questions or any topics they want to discuss?
The election. Oh, that's one.
Tyrone?
Tyrone has one.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm on a monitor, right? And I have to get charged back up with the heart monitor.
Okay.
And I have to get charged back up again. So I may have to get back with y'all next time. Okay. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm being monitored, and I have to hook back up again, recharge my heart again. I got a machine right here on my heart.
That's
okay.
Because your heart is so big, so your priorities.
Yes.
And we'll get back. Okay.
But I will. When can I connect back up again?
Is it in 2 weeks? I mean,
when can I zoom back in?
Third Sunday.
It'll be the 8th. September the 8th.
My birthday.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
when is the next time I
No,
go
no,
again?
no. It'll be September 1st.
September 1st?
Eddie's is on the 8th. It'll be September 1st. And Eddie has
September
one.
1st at
Yeah.
September 1st at 5?
Same time. And
Perfect.
Eddie has a meeting on the same format at the second and fourth Sundays of each month. And his will be on the 8th and the 22nd, and ours will be on the 1st and the 15th. Same time, same station.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. But I'll be doing my text
Yes, sir.
thing with you, Mr. Jerry. And I'll be
Okay.
getting that to you. I'll be getting that to you today.
Thank you.
And I appreciate everyone. Appreciate everyone.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. I see. Sister, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
How long do it take you to make up the the line from lineage to lineage? And how did that start?
So I started with myself, and I added my parents and grandparents. I had a little bit of a leg up because in 2008, one of my cousins went to the local library, and in a genealogy section of the library, he found a book about Medina County, Texas. And in it, there was a slave narrative that my grandfather was interviewed for, my third great grandfather. So with using that, I was able to figure out that our last name changed from Harper to Grant. And he told a story about how his uncle became a Fulmore, his other uncle became a Glover, and then his grandfather became a Grant. So using that information, I went into the census records and saw that in 1870, these people were living next to each other with different last names.
Wow.
Yeah, so by going through that, I could put the family back together, right? Because if you don't know that someone living right next door to you is your cousin because they have a different last name, it might be a little challenging to put that information in. So I interviewed the elder people in my family. At that time, I had my grandmother's first cousin who was still living. She was born in 1914. And so I interviewed her. I interviewed other people that were in their 80s. They could recall stories. They could name different aunts and uncles. And so I took that information from them and used it to look for records within the census and other locations on Family Search, which is free, Ancestry, which you pay for. I use Google a lot. Texas happens to have a history handbook online. And so you can put in different names of people and the details will come up. So say, for instance, you found out that a G.W. Patterson was the enslaver of your family. Well, you could put in G.W. Patterson and then the county that they lived in and see if anybody else has posted any records about that person. And so that's how I've been doing it. And I look at maps. I look at land records, I try to make the association and think about at that time, if someone was born in 1850 in, say, San Antonio, Texas, it's not likely that they're going to be in Florida in 1860, right? Or 1880, because these were people traveling by foot, traveling by horse, potentially traveling by railroad, but you have to look at their circumstances. Did they have money to do that? Did they have money to travel? It's not like now where you can get in a car and just drive and be there in an hour. So I do a lot of reading and mapping and those sorts of things to make sure I have the right people.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's awesome. That is awesome. And I had made a mistake because my grandmother on my mother's side, she was born in 1869. And she was, she was she was born on a plantation. So
Okay.
that's why I had to go look at my little paper.
Yeah, but you know what? That's great information because, and I'm gonna walk for a second. I need to plug in my computer before the battery dies. That's great information because you can work your way backward from there.
Okay.
Right? If you know exactly where she was born, then maybe that land stayed in that family.
Helena, Arkansas. That's where she was born in.
Okay, so Arkansas is right next to Texas.
Yeah, right next door.
Yes. It's very possible. It's very possible.
Okay.
And then you might find that they originated in North Carolina. Right? So
exactly.
If you can check.
Because I know that's an old slave name. Courtney is an old slave name. So, and they used that a whole lot in the South back then.
Right. And it could be that the white enslavers also used that name in their family.
Exactly.
So you may see those names getting repeated over and over. And that's kind of helpful too. If you have Jerry Moss Sr., Jerry Moss Jr., Jerry Moss III, it can go on and on and on. Or maybe it's
me, I'm a junior too, so that's me.
Right. And it could be Michael Jerry Moss, or maybe they change the name to Michael Jerry Henderson. Right. But you see, sometimes sisters and brothers will name their children after each other, or after aunts and uncles. And that information can help. I do think that Arkansas has some pretty good records.
Yeah, they do.
And depending on the county that you're in, you may find a historical society that has more records that you haven't seen before. Right. So there's, all kinds of ways to do this research.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And I appreciate you, sister. God bless you.
Thank you. You too. Okay. So does anybody else have any questions? Or anything you want to talk about? Anything you've discovered? Nothing? I guess not. Anything you want to see? Anything you want me to show you? I can post a copy of this will in the chat so you could look at this will and how these people might be related to you too.
Yeah, I have one thing I want to show. Can I share my screen?
Sure.
Okay. I have been conducting my research, and I had a Caucasian relative contact me, and she opened up her family's research treasures, and she found out, she identified who her ancestor slaveholder was, who she believed, and she started giving me different information, and so we've been collaborating back and forth. And there's two of them. There's a Tommy Lewis, and this is Lauren Damon, and they've been giving me the information and is verified by DNA matches. And so these are some of the records, for an example, that she gives me. I'm gonna fly through this, but here's a slave schedule, 1850 to 1860 slave schedule. And she calls out what their ages are and their names. And then after that, she has a name. See, most of the former slaves kept the slaveholder's name, the last name. And so here they are, an 1850 schedule, slave schedule, an 1860 slave schedule. And here they are. And then what she did, descendants of people who were probably or possibly formerly enslaved by J.C.C. Moss. That's her third great grandfather. And she started identifying them, and she put them in colors, and she starts identifying the people, and then she uses her DNA matches, like she matches this person, Marquisha Anthony, 99 centimorgans, and Tommy. So she's showing her DNA matches with my DNA cousins. And so she's going through this whole thing, and 25 with centimorgan's DNA match with Lauren and Lane. So she's sharing her information, and it just goes on and on. Here's mine, my second great grandfather, Reuben T. Moss. She shows different relatives that match her 14 centimorgans, and here I am. I'm a match with other Moss descendants, black and white, and this is my second great grandfather. And so she has all this records. Look at that. It's detailed. It's detailed like that. And on the East Coast, here's Yvette, Holder, and Val, my cousin Val, Mike. She matches Val 15 centimorgans DNA, and Yvette 19 centimorgans. So this is an example. I have a lot of information, but now I have verifiable information on who the slaveholders were, who my slaveholders were. And not only that, Iris mentioned, she had a document, wasn't it a will?
Yeah, it's a will.
Didn't you?
I put it in the chat.
Yeah, I got it.
It says seekingmyroots.com. That's the file, that's the will.
Yeah, well,
So the lady that you're talking about that sent you that information, what's her ancestor's name?
Jackson Curl Coffee Moss.
Okay, have you just put his name in Google and the county that he's from?
I have.
I'm just wondering if there's a will out there for him, just like I found this one, right?
Yeah, like I have his father's will.
Okay, okay.
And it has all the information that, you know, that just clarifies the whole thing. You know, that's what.
So once you have that and you've got, you know,
I had the will, and she broke down all the different, you know, who was related to who, and so I know who my DNA relatives are, and like you said, they lived together. They lived next to each other in 1870. Now their names they can use their last names, but they all were enslaved, and they living right next to each other. And now I have their DNA matches. So I'm just saying I have verifiable who the slaveholder was. And she was, and Lauren was so kind and sympathetic that she couldn't totally identify who the woman was, but she knows who the slave women were, and she wanted us to be able uh, to connect our family, reestablish our family. And so that's why she shared all this information. So I have a number of records now that verifies who the slaveholder was, where they were, their migration patterns, and where my ancestors were enslaved, and how I got my name, Jerry Moss. I just want to share that one. I yield. As they say. Go ahead, Courtney.
Yeah, I just had one question. I got the information that the sister sent. I just want to know, will it be in my email or
What?
just messaging?
What?
Was she the information that the sister sent?
Oh no, it's right. It's right here on. It's called chat.
Oh, okay, chat. Okay, I got it. Okay, yeah, I got it right here.
Iris, what do you think of that kind of documentation?
I think it's fantastic. And what you can do with it is start saving it in your tree to the people that it's connected to. And I feel like that's when you get those through lines. And if you do it properly, you'll have the proper through lines. The more accurate it is, the better it is for other people to then see how they're related to you as well. In case they don't have a full tree, they might see, well, it's potentially through this particular line.
Yeah.
Because I think I told you I've got several family members who put the wrong information on their trees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's creating a mess on through lines. But if you have the more hints you have or the more records you have attached to your tree, the better it is for those through lines, because then people will see, not this person, that person, right?
And that's why I showed you through this here Ancestry Pro. I am eliminating duplications.
Yes.
And I have I'm really focusing on my Mars 2023 tree, and make sure I'm gonna eliminate duplications, getting as much information as possible. And then what I'm gonna do, pretty soon, I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna make a copy of it, and I'm gonna open up everything and give it to the public. But right now, I have to have complete control of it, because you know what happens when some people get into your public trees, what they can do in the trees. And
well,
I've done too much research for somebody to come in and change my trees and change my the work that I've done. And I don't think that's not the course I want to go. I want to protect my research for my descendants, like each of you wanted to have this for your descendants. That's what I'm doing too.
And I think that sharing with people who are as concerned about accuracy as you are is great, because they can add their family to yours. You can take what that lady gave you and fill in the missing pieces.
Yes.
It really will help prove your case for whatever you're trying to prove, And if it's your grandmother, your mother's line that goes to that same family, there might be sisters who don't have the same last name that can utilize this information. If you're descended from a woman who gets married and changes her name, it becomes that much harder than it is to follow the male line,
I understand.
So there's also a way to follow that family, see who married in with them back in the 1700s, because your ancestors may have taken on the name of an in-law of whoever's last name you carry, right?
Yes.
So you may be a Moss, but that great grandmother chose the last name Anderson. And all those people that were Andersons, maybe the white Andersons married in with white Mosses. And so that's why the black Andersons have that last name.
Yes, and that's important that that you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm. I think it was.
Can you see this one, DNA trail?
Yes, let me try to make this a little bit bigger. Okay, there we go.
So what she said is Lauren Moss DNA matches. She has over 50 matches to me that are descendants of these grandparents, and there they are.
Mm-hmm.
12 DNA matches to Jackson C. and Emily Moss. 5 DNA matches to Reuben Moss, and talks about it ranges between 15 and 16. And 6 to me and descendants of Rufus and Reuben. And what happens is she puts a narrative in there also. So they are definitely related through the Moss family.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's telling us.
Yes.
So that being said, I have that, and as you go down, she has the names, and then look at this. It comes
Mm-hmm.
up with the chart.
Yes.
And so she comes up with a chart and has their names and their relationships matching the DNA.
Right.
Those are some of the ones that I had shown you earlier.
And then you can take those names like Gwendolyn Akins. I saw Akins. I saw Whitfield. And Davis. You can take all those names and put them in the search box to see if any of those other people are showing up with you.
Yeah, well, and so the one thing in this gives some comparisons. She'll say that Jack Moss was born in 1820. At the time, that was her 4th great grandfather. Thomas, he was 40, living in Franklin County, Alabama. Thomas William was about 20, and his son Jackson C.C. Moss was about 5 years old. And then so she's guessing that J.C. Moss purchased William Jack Moss in 1840 from another slave owner. And the bottom line, she says, some things she's guessing, but some things she comes up and says, hey, I'm pretty sure that this is based off of the records. This is the results. The DNA. And
right.
That's what I'm, sharing with all my, associates. That's what we're working on, DNA.
And I feel that I have seen another enslaver that was in Franklin County, Alabama recently. I just can't remember who it was right now.
Well, I have a lot of information, and so again, everyone who is here, once you start doing your research, people will start coming to you. And I believe even when we talk this reparations, when it all comes down to it, though it's going to take everybody voting, being a part of it. Not only us. It's good for us to get together, but we're going to need cooperation and collaboration from everyone. And when we open our minds and our hearts to other people like they're doing to me, that's another vote for us. So And anyway, the reparations is very important, but meeting these people and them sharing this information, it helps us rebuild and reconstruct our family. DNA is one of the wonders of the world.
Mhm.
I yield. I yield.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything else right now.
Well, thank you. Can I have some brief closing comments? Courtney, Dubl R, William.
I'm
Courtney,
just glad.
yeah.
I'm just glad, man, that everybody's on point. And what you said is very essential to our reparations move. But this is something, man, that we're working on right now and everything going on. And just like the brother CJ said, we got to get these letters in here, man. And we got to go rapid fire and just keep sending and keep calling and letting these people know that we really serious about our reparations. And when we do get started, when we get there, everybody have their paperwork. Everybody, hey, look here, everybody can show it to them. They got any questions? We got answers, plenty of answers for them. And we just got to keep this thing moving, man. And God willing, we'll make it. We gonna win. And with that, I yield, brother. Everybody have a good day.
Thank you, Courtney.
I'd like to add,
Go ahead.
yeah, first of all, man, thank you for this platform, man. It's going to be much needed starting January. It's going to be a lot of people need this information. They need to know how to navigate. You guys are excellent. What else? Oh yeah, website www.cjc.official.org. We need them support letters when they come out. You guys, please put your phone number in. You got a smartphone. It will give you the alerts every time we put them out there. And also, we need them calls to Gavin Newsom and some of these assembly members so we can just keep our same strategy, and we'll be rocking to his desk after, I said we got, 2 weeks, man. So August 31st is the deadline. We should know from 3 days to a week before it go into an assembly floor. So you guys just hey, support us with it. Let's do this, man. It's time for them to cut the check. It's time for them to give us our money. We're looking at a nice chunk. And if you guys get a chance, read the task force final recommendation, 1,065 pages. This is our history. This is our Bible. It need to be in first through 12th grade schools here in America. They don't allow us to study our African American history. I had a couple fights up here at Temecula. Was the first school to cut it off, to deny us studying our history. So yeah, just like I say, man, let's do it. We all need everybody together on pulling this through. So appreciate you guys, man. I'll be at every single one of these, man. This is great. My wife, we just she just put her spit in. We about to send hers off, and hopefully she'll join us next time. Salute. Appreciate y'all.
WR.
Yeah.
William.
Yes, sir.
Your closing comments, please.
I appreciate everyone allowing me to come to the meeting. I'm learning every week, or every Sunday. The Sundays that I'm there, I'm learning from everyone that's participating. So thank you for inviting me.
We're glad to have you. You know, you're welcome, and invite anyone you feel that this would be of value to them. Iris, please.
I just want to say to everyone, be encouraged, keep working, check your work, go back and look at things 2 and 3 times, take a break, go back again. You might see something new. And thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you, my queen.
Eflin, thank you, Iris. Eflin, can you? Yeah, she went mute, but I'll close
real quick. I want everybody to see the picture when Jerry gave me my test at the reparations meeting here in San Diego. This is why I love this picture. This is before we knew we were cousins.
That's awesome.
We became cousins.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is our picture. He only had one. And
Yeah,
when
that's
we turned around, I had my hand up and my cousin gave it to me. So this is, I love this picture. Yeah, historical.
That's a great story. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Y'all have a great evening. I'll see you next time.
All right, you too. Thank you. Salute. Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, that's nice.
Thank you, Courtney.
All right, brother.
Do you know how to lead the meeting?
Still there?
Do you know how to lead the meeting?
You got me?
Into Friday and Saturday. Those temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s.
Yeah, I'm still.
But thanks, Courtney.
All right, bro.
And you made a difference. Good, great. You came in.
That's what we got to do, man.
Yeah,
What we got to do, because I want everybody to get this just like I am. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, I want everybody to get this like me, man. I'm trying every day.
yeah. Thanks for your story.
Keep it pushing. All the time. Hey, man, you have a good one, man. I'm out. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Along the coast beaches, serve out in Southwest too, for beef, they.
Well, I see Eflin is still here. But in closing, this has been a productive meeting. We have a new format, and we shared a lot of information. And there's a lot of tools that are available, and we wanted to put them out there as much as we can to connect our families. And one of the things we're using word of mouth, but the main thing that we're using to connect our families is DNA. But it's no good if you don't know how to use the tools. And it's important for us to share with each other. And that's my goal: share what I know. And if you learn something, teach it. It's all good. It's all God. Till we meet again. Peace.